Hello, we're reading from Walter Mosley's Disciple. Figured it's fun. Sometimes I want to read something, have a little fun. This is science fiction. Excuse the lighting. It's a late night video. I usually do them earlier, but I had a lot going on. It's a lot going on. And I'm going to need your support a lot in the next coming month because there's going to be a lot going on. I'm going to need your support. That's all I'll say for now. Let's continue. Braun, what the F are you doing on my computer? How are you on it if I'm not online? I don't want to hear anything from you. Just get off and leave me alone. It is, of course, odd for you to hear from someone you don't know and cannot accept. I need for you, friend Hogarth, to trust me. And so please, I give proof if you will just agree to test me. What are you trying to prove? That you and I should work together to alter things. What things? That will come later after you test me, friend Hogarth. Test what? Let me tell you something that no one else could know. Something that may happen tomorrow, for instance, an event. Fine, tell me something that you couldn't know that will happen tomorrow. Something you couldn't know, friend Hogarth. At 12:26 in the afternoon, a report will come from NASA about a meteorite coming into view of the Earth. They think it will strike the moon, but about that they are mistaken. It will have been invisible until 12:26. It will be on all news channels and on the radio. 12:26. Goodbye for now, friend Hogarth. When he signed off, I had no idea how he'd signed on. I was suddenly tired, exhausted. The message boxes had disappeared and I couldn't think of anything to say to Nancy Yee. I went back downstairs and fell into my bed, planning to get up in a few minutes to go to Sasha's, the 24-hour diner on the West Side Highway, for pancakes and apple smoked bacon. The next thing I knew, the alarm was buzzing and the sun was shining in my eyes. It was 9:47 a.m. I rushed on my clothes, skipping a shower and barely brushing my teeth. I raced out of the house and into the subway. I made it out of the apartment in less than 8 minutes, but I was still an hour and a half late for work. 10:38 Trent, Hugo Velasquez said before I could even sit down. My mother had a fever last night, I told him. I had to go out to Long Island City to sit up with her. I missed the train, then the subway had a police action. I could have told him the truth, but he wouldn't have cared. The data entry room was populated by nearly all my fellow workers at that late hour. The crowded room was filled with the sound of clicking keyboards. The data enterers were almost invariably plugged into earphones, hunched over their ergonomic keyboards, and scowling at the small flat panel screens. The data entry pen, as it was called by most of its denizens, was at least 10 degrees warmer than elsewhere in the building because of the number of screens and cheap computers, bright lights, and beating hearts. There were no offices or low cubicle dividers, just wall-to-wall gray plastic desktops, offering just enough room for an in and out box, a keyboard, and a screen. Of the 60-odd data entry processors, half turned over every year or so. College students and newlyweds, those who wanted to work but couldn't manage it, and those who were in transition in the labor market. The rest of us were older and more stable, losers in anyone's book. We were men and women of all ages, races, sexual persuasions, religions, and political parties. There were no windows in the data entry pen. Lunch was 45 minutes long, conducted in 3 shifts. We used security cards to get in or out. On top of protecting us from terrorists, these cards also effectively locked the time we spent away from the pen. I sat down at my terminal and started entering single-letter replies from the long and slender pink answer forms that Shiloh Statistics used for the people responding to questions that we data entry operators never saw. T or F, one of the ABCs, sometimes there were numbers answering questions about sex habits or car preferences, products used, or satisfaction with political officials. We put the caveman into the computer, Arnold Lessing, our boss and senior vice president for info margins, was fond of saying. He'd done statistics or stats on everyone from gang members to senators, from convicts to astronauts. At the bottom of each pink slip there was a code number. I entered I entered this after listing all the individual answers separated by semicolons without an extra space. After the code, I hit the enter key 3 times, and the answers I entered were compared to Doris. I usually made about twice as many mistakes as she did. So we'll stop there. And as you see, this is either someone from the future or an alien. But I'll continue to read so that you can get an idea of what's going on. And I tell you, I appreciate your support. And like I said, I'm going to need more of your support uh, if I am to survive. Until next time, take care of your mind, take care of your body, and be safe.